Hi and welcome back to my channel. I thought for this video I'd show some recent favourites that I've been enjoying using in my sketchbook practice. I think I'll only do these videos every now and again, and I'll only do them if there's a big difference in things that I've been using and enjoying compared to the last time I did one of these videos. And there's a big difference. There's different materials. And it's a different sort of colour palette to what I showed in my last favourites video. So lots of different mediums compared to last time. If I remember rightly, I had a lot of blues and greys. So I've lost one of them. I've really been enjoying these Inktense pencils. I love the Derwent Inktense sticks, although I don't tend to use them that often. I think I need to get some more use out of them. Maybe buy a couple of different colours in shades that I'm enjoying at the moment. But I'm really enjoying these the Inktense in the pencil format, particularly sepia, this sepia ink one. So what I'm going to say is I'm enjoying like certain mediums, but what I've done for this favourite is pick out certain colours that, you know, not that I'm enjoying the most, but showcasing that I've used the most. But I am enjoying the medium overall. Sepia ink in the Derwent Inktense. These pencils are great. You can use them just for drawing. They give you a really good intense, which is why they're called Inktense, intense pigment. And obviously you can use them for drawing, just in generally, for shading. But they're water soluble, and you can use them for, it's a bit like a watercolour pencil, however, they give a more inky finish, hence the name Inktense. So you get quite a deep pigment in them. That one, I mean, look how much pigment is in that. And you can then draw on the top when it's wet. You know, you can create lots of lovely textures just with one pencil. And to be able to use it like a wash of ink is really, really useful. You can see this one, let's get a one that I've used a lot of that, and I will be rebuying it. You know, so it's well loved to see, and well loved really recently. So that is one that I'm loving. I mean, you can just use it as a pencil in its own right as well, but it works brilliantly, you know, as what it's made for, which is as a water soluble pencil. So that's Derwent Inktense in sepia. Love that. So that's my one pencil. I've been using other ones, but that's the one that I've been using the most in the sepia. Continuing with water soluble things, I've got two Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer watercolour markers. I'm trying to get more use out of these, and I have found that these are two of my favourites at the moment. So we've got Sanguine and Green Gold. Okay. Look how beautiful that is. Obviously, this colour palette is very autumnal. If you follow me on Instagram, and you'll have, well, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen quite a lot of sketchbook work I've been doing on autumnal landscapes, autumn landscapes even. And I've shown a small process video on here as well for an autumn landscape. and I'm just really enjoying that colour palette at the moment. Again, I'm continuing on the watercolour, water soluble. I've got two Neocolor 2s, and this one is light cadmium red, and this one is carmine, or carmine. What I've spoke about Neocolor 2s before, and so you can get Neocolor 1 or Neocolor 2, and they are by Cavendish. Just have to have a look because I couldn't think where they were from. So Cavendish Neocolor 2. You can buy Neocolor 1s. Neocolor 1s are not water soluble. The Neocolor 2 are soluble, are water soluble even. I mainly have, I think I've only got one or two Neocolor 1s. So all of my Neocolors tend to be Neocolor 2 because you can use them either way, but you do have to be mindful that you don't accidentally add water to them if you don't want that effect with them. So this is the carmine or carmine, and this one is light cadmium. This is the light cadmium red. So Neocolor 2, I think you can work on top of them when they're watered down, once they dry. But if you leave them as the crayon, if you're just using them as the crayon, they're more your last step for mixed media because nothing goes over the top of them. If you use them in their water soluble state like this, if that dries, I would think you should be able to work over the top of them, if I remember rightly, because obviously you've watered it down, so you'll be able to draw over it with pencils, etc. But in its crayon form, you can't, basically. But these have the same principle as the Inktense in the sense of if you use them water, you can then draw on top of them and get some lovely textures like that. And you get some fantastic textures using them. I tend to use it as a last layer on my mixed media work. Acrylic gouache is my next favourite thing that I've been enjoying. I've been using a lot of white acrylic gouache. I'm not going to bother swatching that because that's just white. But I've been using a lot of, you know, white in my work. But these are three of the colours that I've really been enjoying. The majority of my acrylic gouache is by Holbein, and they do some lovely muted shades. I have one, I think it's only one, let me just have a look. I have one acrylic gouache in the Turner, which I'd like to get some more of them, but I do enjoy using the Holbein. And these are the three of the colours that I've been using a lot of in my work. So we've got Misty Green, which is just a gorgeous muted shade. And these are really lovely because you can have them quite, dents on the page, or you can shear them out as well, and they're fantastic for working on top of as well. So that one's Misty Green, and I've got Pale Peach, which is a gorgeous muted pinky peach colour. And then we've got Light Apricot. Which is a very pale, muted orange, which is my sort of kind of orange. I either like this type of orange or like a burnt brown type orange, like a rusty shade, which is like sanguine. I'm not as keen on bright orange, but that's just my preference. But how beautiful are those? They work really well together. So these are Holbein acrylic gouache. Spelled that wrong. Gouache. And this one is Light Apricot, Pale Peach. Should have wrote these first. And Misty Green. Gorgeous. And when they're dry, they're really good as backgrounds for mixed media. And then obviously you can layer. Because it's acrylic gouache, it stays in place. If you were then to put something wet on top of it, like an ink or the acrylic, not acrylic markers, the watercolour markers, etc. If you were then to draw on top of it and wet, the acrylic gouache stays in place because it's acrylic gouache. One ink that I've been absolutely really enjoying, and I've got a lot of use out, and I'm going to look at more. I think there's only a couple more that I quite fancy in these inks, but this is a sketch ink. It's a light fast ink, and which is good, unlike the Diamine. I love the shades in the Diamine, but obviously they're not light fast, which if you want to work outside of your sketchbook, which I'm hoping to work towards, I have more and more, light fast obviously becomes important. Yeah, so this is a sketch ink, and this is called Lily. And that is called Lily. It's like a lovely browny green shade, so you can use it for trees, you can use it for grass, you could use it for seascapes, for rock pools and things like that. It's very useful shade. You can use it for various things. I've really been enjoying it, and I'm going to look to get, I think I've seen one or two other sketch inks, because I've only got two of them. I'd like to get a grey one, which I have seen one on there. I can't remember the name of it, so I might get a couple more of the sketch inks. But yeah, I've really been enjoying that and getting a lot more use out of it. It's a completely different colour palette to what I showed last time, and that's why I wanted to do a favourites. But like I say, I will only do them if there is a lot of difference to what I showed in the last video, because you don't want to have it the continual same things shown, I guess. Or I feel it would just be more useful to show, like, this is the colour palette that I'm enjoying at the moment, and these are my favourite things that I've been enjoying to use out of that colour palette. So yeah, I'm going to leave that here. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.